We're in week 3 of the Who Cares food drive. This is put together by Another Voice with Eric and friends and our friends at Southern Star Promotions and Star Hammond. And it's to benefit Loaves and Fishes, which is a mobile food rescue company that delivers food to 94 different agencies. And we're having great success, and I'm so forward to seeing what we can do through the next month of this collection. But as I was thinking about Loaves and Fishes, I know people hear about them, but they might not understand what they do and how they're a great help in the community. So I thought one of the things they do is they have refrigerated trucks, and they drive around and they pick up food from restaurants, grocery stores, places like that, and take it to charities, agencies, community centers, shelters for them to use for the people that they're helping. So I thought it would be enlightening to ride along on one of those delivery days, and that's what I did today. I met with Rick at the Salvation Army Croc Center. In the morning, they pick up all the food they're getting, and then they deliver it to the afternoon. So Rick had already picked up the food, and he'd already started delivering, and I met him at the Croc Center. And before I go any further, let me talk to you about Rick. Rick was an amazing individual. This is a retired man. He was worked for a company that cleared the lines, telephone lines and power lines of the trees and stuff. Really, a man that got there and did things, and he's retired now. But for 7 years, he's worked with Loaves and Fishes, and he's drove these delivery trucks. And the joy of what he was doing just beamed from him. And everything he said and how he carried himself, he was happy to do what he did. He told me that when he sees where this food goes, and he sees the help, where it's helping in other people, he's able to lay his head down at night and sleep in peace. And it was just fantastic. And Loaves and Fishes could not have found a better ambassador, I don't think, than Rick. And a lot of these groups, charities, agencies that are helping out folks in the Greenville County area couldn't have found a better advocate either, because we were supposed to drop off food. He had a regular route to go, but he made sure that I got to see the folks, talk to the folks, and he actually took me to a couple places that weren't scheduled for drops today. They got it tomorrow or yesterday, whatever. And great advocate. Rick just did a fantastic job, and I can't say enough good about him. One of the things he mentioned to me about the deliveries, every day, these refrigerated trucks, Monday through Friday, collect 2,000 pounds, that's 1 ton, of food to pass out that day. Every day. Whole Foods and Trader Joe's donate themselves hundreds of pounds of food every day. It is fantastic. So our first stop was at the Croc Center, and you know the Salvation Army and all the things they do, and at the Croc Center a lot of it's focused on children. And we took in there fresh vegetables, peppers, green peppers, apples, fresh stuff, as well as bread and stuff. But these kids were able to have good food, not just junk food. We left there, and we stopped at a place that wasn't having a drop-off. I had mentioned the Frazee Dream Center because in yesterday's show, which you can find at canigetawordin.com, I had read a quote from the director, Matt, about that with the help of the food that Loaves and Fishes brings, the Frazee Center was able to feed the 86 children at 22 cents a person. That's fantastic. And let me tell you, these folks are great. Matt, energetic. And again, there was this atmosphere of, I love what I'm doing. I'm having a great time doing it. And it's important. And they're just average Joes. They help these kids out. It's a preschool, after school, and summer type help for underprivileged children. And from what I understand, Matt's wife is a whiz in the kitchen. She took, they had an extra supply of hoagie rolls that they took to Frazee Dream Center, and his wife crumbled them up and put them in the spaghetti that the kids got to enjoy. And Matt showed off a photo of what the kids were eating as a snack the day before, and it was all fresh produce. Matter of fact, he showed in there was a bowl with grape tomatoes, and they just called them red grapes. It was great, and this atmosphere that we're helping out and we're glad to do it was just wonderful. We went from there to Gateway House, which is a organization that helps with mentally ill or people with mental challenges. And it's an interesting concept. They call themselves like a clubhouse. They don't call the folks they work with patients, or they call them members. And they work together. Like the lady in charge of the kitchen was mentioning to me that the kitchen is staffed by members and employees. They work together. I saw that when I went in there. They were prepping for the next day's meal, which they were going to do stir fry. And she was so happy to see Rick bring in fresh yellow peppers. That was going to go great. And they do a lot of things to help this community, those with mental health issues. And the Frazee Center, the Gateway, and some others, we are going to try to interview those folks during the month of November. But I encourage you to go look at their websites to get a better idea. From Gateway, we went to Project Host, which Rick says it does the best job in the county of helping out the hungry. Made a point that they're going to feed you. If you show up for a meal, you're going to get a meal, regardless of how you got there, regardless of who you are. Rick says if you come in a Cadillac or you crawl from under the bridge, you're going to get fed. But you know that old saying, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach him how to fish, feed him for life? They combine those two. They're going to feed you. You come in there, you're going to get food. But they also have a 12-week program to teach people how to cook, not just for their home, but as a chef. And then they help you find jobs in the local community cooking, being chefs. It's a great program. We're going to focus on them more. But again, the atmosphere was, we're reaching out, we're trying to help. It was a positive, great feeling in that Project Host kitchen. We then went to Shepherd's Gate, which, as you know, is women, battered women, women in need, women and children. And again, the attitude was, all of these places, I'm just going to keep it, all of the places we visited, the idea was, we love to help the people who need our help. From the Shepherd's Gate, we went to Brutontown Community Center, again, dealing with children. And we finished up the drive at the Greenville Rescue Mission. I got to tell you folks, when you're deciding whether you want to buy that can of corn, a bag of rice to stick in the box for the Who Cares food drive, do it. It's going to help. They pick up that food, they deliver it to the agencies and charities, all these places that very day. And I just saw 6 of the places they went to. There's 94 places that Loaves and Fishes brings food that's donated by our community. I have to thank places like Publix, Bilo, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, for the food they donate. You know, I looked at that in that back area there with all the food that was donated. There was fresh produce, breads, cheese, meat, and all good stuff. Loaves and Fishes does a great job, and I'm excited to be working with them. I encourage you to go to their website, loavesandfishesgreenville.com, and learn more about them. I wish I could have brought y'all with so you could have seen how people helping others feels. Now we've got until the end of November for this food drive, and I encourage you to go to one of those local businesses that are hosting boxes. Little Pigs at Brushy Creek, Blueberry Frog in Greenville, Personal Defense Outfit, Traveler's Rest, Mad Cuban Cafe in Simpsonville, Stomping Grounds Coffee and Wine Bar in Greer, Jane Crawford's Skin Clinic in Greer as well, Noya Southern Food. Go to their website to see, to their Facebook to see where they're going to be. And Asada Food Truck will also be having a box later this week. There's a number of other places. It doesn't take a lot to make a difference. You can go to the grocery store and pick up a couple items and then drop it off at one of these places. And your donation is going to make a difference in the lives of our neighbors. And if, I tell you what, if you don't think you can get to one of these places, email me, av@anothervoicewith, at canigetaWordin.com. That's av@canigetaWordin.com. We'll work out a way to come get the food from you. Folks, I encourage you to make a difference in our community by fighting hunger through the Who Cares food drive, going on until the end of November. All right, now you can check us out at canigetaWordin.com for our regular podcasts and other information. You can go to our Facebook page, Another Voice with Eric and Friends. You can get our podcast on iTunes at Another Voice with Eric and Friends. And we look forward to how great an impact that we can have with our fellow human beings. So until next time, get out in your community and make a difference.